Are the police on you at any time while you get this money?
Police didn't get on us too. I think the police first time they raided one of my houses might have been like 84, 85.
Damn. You
And they
talking about
was
like 3, 4, 5 years where you just escaping?
yeah, no police contact at all. And even when they got on us, they was on us wrong because they raided my girlfriend's house. You know, they didn't raid the dope houses.
Hmm.
They raided my girlfriend's house. So, uh, and that kind of baffled us too, like who had put them on us. You know, because they didn't really have the right information. You know, they was raiding places that I would never take dope.
Hmm.
Like, I don't take no dope over her house. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I need dope there for? Ain't nobody buying no dope there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with me, I only touch dope when somebody was buying it. You know, like, I hear people ride around with dope in their cars, and I be like, what? No, 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 no. When I pick it up, it's going to a specific location and it's to straight line. You know what I'm saying? So uh, when they got on us, I was a little baffled because they was lost.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much how that went.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you man, okay, laws 84. Man, I just lost my train of thought. We're gonna take a pause real quick.
It's all good. Take your time.
What was I getting ready to ask you about? Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So take me through like a regular day for you. You know what I'm saying? Like at that time, what was your days looking like? Cause you're not hand to hand with shit. You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of staying low key. Like what are you really doing? You know what I mean? Like day for day and shit.
Playing basketball. Yeah, I used to love basketball. I fell in love with basketball. Um, so most of the time I'll be at the gym shooting hoop, taking jump shots. But I did a lot of other stuff though. I had a race bike. I had a drag car, so I would do that some weekends. We had dirt bikes. I would go dirt bike riding sometimes, messing with girls.
Yeah.
We would chase women. It was pretty much that was it. Most of the day though would be centered around the drug business. People coming in from out of town, organizing.
How far are you reaching at this time?
What year?
Like I say around 84, 85 up in that time. Well, I would say when you first start, how do you even first start branching out outside of like California, outside of?
Well, people start coming. First, it was just like when I first started, it was just like in the neighborhood. A few pimps, a few of they prostitutes would come, uh, but they started adding people. Like I used to have a reward system. Like if you bring me somebody, give you a little extra.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying for doing that. So they would bring people to me to get that when
Hmm.
they didn't have no money. And it started growing. So then it was L.A. Then Long Beach got involved. Then Pasadena got involved. Then Riverside. And it just kept like expanding.
Hmm.
You know, to next thing you know, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Oklahoma. We all over the place. Denver, Seattle, Washington. Um, it just kept growing. And then next thing, the younger dudes in the hood started getting involved. The gangbangers and because what I did when I first started, most of the people that I sold to was like 30 some years old.
Hmm.
Um, but I opened up the door for the younger generation, for the guys under me. My crew was all mostly younger than I was. I had guys like little Tommy, who was only, I think Tommy was like 15, 14 years old when he first started.
Hmm.
Um, so I started allowing these younger guys to get in the game because that's who I hung with. Those were my crew.
Man, and so what does the freeway thing come from?
And that's when we was low riding. I stayed right by the freeway, and we used to strip cars right on the side of the freeway. in the broad open. But
Oh shit!
it was a one way. Yeah, it wasn't the traffic was on the freeway. So,
But this is before you get into hustling and all that, though.
yeah, this was before I started selling cocaine.
No
And
shit.
so it was this guy named Jake Clayton, and at the street races, he was like a legend. He was like the man. And one of our dudes was boning his wife, and he knew it. Young dudes. We younger than he was. He was probably about 4 or 5 years older than us. So, young dude boning his wife, and he knew about it. So he took offense to us, and every time we would come to the street races, he'd be talking about our cars. Look at the raggedy ass freeway boys. And our cars was raggedy too. At that time my car had a blue door, a white hood, primer on it. I was just getting started. You know what I'm saying? Even the street races is really how I even got started selling cocaine. Because it went from the first time I went to the street because I was playing tennis, and then after it was discovered that I couldn't read or write, then I found out I wasn't gonna be going to college. So I started hanging with the homies, and the homies was going to the street races and hanging out, up there. And so I started going with them, and I saw them cars. I was like, oh my goodness, I want one of them. They had some of the prettiest girls you'd ever seen riding in the passenger seats. And I'm like, man, I got to get me one of them. So I started going around and asking all the dudes, how you get that car? What you do to get that car? And I hooked up with this cat named Dirty Benny. And he told me to come by his house. And they started me off just driving. I started off just as a driver. I would just drive the cars. They start them up. And I would drive back to LA. They give me $50. So from doing that, I was able to buy my first car, $100. I bought my 66 Chevy for $100. Yeah, $100. They had no motor, no transmission. The top was gone. But you steal cars, you don't really care about none of that stuff because you're gonna go get one that looks just like it and put all the stuff on it. So that's how I got started. So once I started doing the cars, then that's how I hooked up with Mike, who eventually introduced me to cocaine because I wanted him to paint my car.
Damn.
I mean, they're all kind of
all of this goes.
It all goes in cycles, and it just just keep climbing. And then I went from Mike introducing me to the cocaine to me knowing everybody in the city that was selling cocaine.
Donnie Houston.